Welcome to Pizzo's Pages. I wanted to do basketball season is fast upon us. So my youngest son is an 8th grader and he has already been in basketball season. And actually, I believe next week is his last week of his basketball season. It's a much shorter season. It's only about a month, but it's twice every week. So a Tuesday, a Thursday, or a Wednesday and a Friday. It's twice every week. So a lot of time sitting in bleachers. And then my oldest son made varsity this year. And he starts this week and I'm so excited. He plays AAU. He has had a ball in his hands since he was, I want to say 6 months. I have a picture of him with this big, huge basketball because Dad just kind of kept that basketball in his hands. And he is a really good player. I love being doing something for my kids. So let me tell you, there's a lot of politics connected to everything, but even more so in sports. A lot of parents think their kids are headed to superstardom. I don't need my kid to be an NBA player. I do need them to get a scholarship on the gifts and talents that they have. And my kids are gifted and talented in academics as well as in sports. And I would love for them. Academic scholarships are a struggle to get and few and far between. And typically aren't, where you get them each year, renewed every year without jumping through a whole bunch of hoops, which is kind of crazy to me. But unfortunately, athletic scholarships come better, and my husband happens to be in a space where we have a lot of contact with coaches. I'm hoping that will pay off. We believe in investing in our children young to reap a little bit of investment on the other end. And the investment is just not to get an athletic scholarship at college, although that would be wonderful. I'm a first gen in college. I struggle with how to manage the college expenses. That's just the bottom line. My own, all the way through all the programs, graduate school, professional school afterwards and everything. I'm struggling to manage that understanding of how to pay all that debt down, still have children and a family and house and all the bills and everything. I was an athlete and I was all state and all city in tennis. And I know the power of how significant sports will, one, build friendships, keep you out of a lot of drama, a lot of mess. And for young men, especially young men of color, I just feel like it's a wonderful way to make sure they're occupied and staying focused on the things that they need to stay focused on, in spite of all of the other challenges and pulls that are trying to gain their attention. It's just sports are a wonderful way to keep them locked in and focused on their academics and their education and on positive things. And so my kids are sports kids. I am a baller mom. There is not a week or a month that goes by that I am not on the field or on the in the stadium or on bleachers somewhere watching my children. And I love it. I love it. It's part of their gifts. It's part of who they are. And I just love whatever level they are. Mine happen to perform at a very high level, but if they didn't, I still would be okay with that. And they've had some setbacks. My daughter has had a setback in her sport. They've had some setbacks. They've had some injuries and that whole kind of thing. And yet this is just a part of who we are. And my husband is a coach, so it's a part of who we are. So there's a lot of politics connected to sports. The whole Snak list and all of that kind of stuff can be a difficult thing. But when I was an athlete in high school, it seemed to me that the boys always got everything. They would have team dinner and snacks and extra treats and all kind of favoritism towards them being athletes. And I went to a high school that is still to this day a powerhouse academic athletic school in the city of Detroit. Tech, whoop, 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 whoop. So they just seemed like they were a little spoiled. And the girls, we had to make do. I remember my friends and I making meals and trying to eat, do a whole collaborative thing so that we could get a meal before our games and that whole thing. Whereas there was a whole booster and a whole group of folks that did that for the guys, whereas we were trying to pull our money together and all of our resources together to make each of us bring something to our lunchtime so that we could have a meal before we actually went and played and that whole thing. So I've always felt a certain way about that. And when my daughter became a four-sport athlete, I always said that I would, in her season, provide them with a snack. So after every game, I would give them a little snack bag. I would just wait outside of the locker room and I would give them a little snack bag. And I did that every single year, every single sport for her. She played volleyball, she played basketball. I didn't do it for tennis because tennis is different. You're outside and that whole thing. It's just a different thing. But volleyball and basketball, and she also did track. And so at the end, I would hand them a bag and it would have a little something special in it for them to snack on because they've exerted all of that fuel on the court and they need to refuel. Many of them had to still wait to get home, get picked up, rides, and all of that kind of stuff. So it was just a way for me to honor them and to treat them, you know, sweet. That was like, I see you girls. I see you girls. So the funny thing about it is I did that every single year and they would bless me at the end and the coaches loved it because they would say if we had a hard game or a rough game, I always knew that you would be there to hold them up and encourage them and they would walk away with their little treat or their little something and it was always something great. So once she graduated high school, I thought, oh, okay, I'm done or whatever. And my son, my oldest son was like, you know, and they understood. I never did it for my sons because even though they were playing sports, because they understood this was something that they were getting it. They were getting it from their boosters and their parents and all that. And the girls still was being really slighted. So they understood I didn't do it for them. But when my daughter graduated, my son came to me and was like, Mom, are you going to keep that up with me? Because now you don't have her. So could you do it for our team? And I thought, well, yeah, I can still do it for the boys team. And so the first tradition is that they would have scrimmages on Saturday, like before the season started or in the season, and I would make individual breakfast burritos. And they loved it. And then they started requesting it like every scrimmage. So I just picked that, said, okay, that's one of the things I give to them is breakfast burritos. But then I wanted to show you, I'm gonna actually put together a snack bag for them. So I used to do these for the girls because the girls' teams were smaller. They might have maybe 9 players on the team. And I would use these really cute cellophane plastic bags and stuff, everything in those. Well, boys' teams are much larger. Sometimes they have upwards of 15 players, which is hard on my snack budget. And I will tell you, parents have come to me and they'll see me with the snacks or putting the snack bags together because sometimes I have a cooler bag in my car that's always full of snacks because we're ripping so much and running so much, and I would have it in there and they would come and say, oh, I can help you do that, I'll take a day, and they would want to plan all this stuff. I never wanted to do that. And I would say, no, this is my thing. If you still want to give. Do your thing. I'm sure they'll eat 2 bags of treats. But I never wanted to actually schedule and plan. You bring the drink, I bring the treat, you bring a fruit and all of that kind of stuff for this thing because this was my thing. This was my thing that I gave to my son or my daughter and their teammates. And I didn't want to get into all the politics of, well, you said you was going to bring last week and she didn't ask me to bring it. There's no money. And I would say, that's fine. And some parents would just say, wow, that is so sweet that you do that for them. Here's $20. Add that to whatever you purchase. And that's cool to me. But I didn't need it and I didn't ask for it. But I still thought it was a great way. So this is basically what it is. I take a lunch bag, and I'm always looking for things in bulk, but I don't do bulk stores because I really have issues with bulk stores because in my house, bringing bulk means we just eat it all up faster. Oh, 20 bags of chips, I'll eat all 20 in 2 days, so I don't do bulk stores. Probably when they gone and grown, I'll start doing bulk stores because I know it'll last. But I do like this, 20. Right now, his varsity basketball team has 10 players. So this is 2 times that I'll be able to give this as a snack. So I'm going to open it up. And usually what I do is I open these all up and I just dump them right into the, I'm going to move that out the way. Right into the cooler bag. So they're snack size. This is actually one of my son's favorite things, Cheez-Its. He loves Cheez-Its. And so, and I don't get, sometimes I say to the players, hey, what's some of your favorite snacks? And they'll yell all kind of things. And I try to keep that in my mind when I go by and when the things are on sale. So I put one of these in there. One of the favorite things that all of the players or all of the teams say are fruit snacks of any kind. So these were what's on sale, 28. I usually will take out 8, save it for the household, and then I know I can get 2 games. So 2 games a week, Wednesday and Friday. And what I try to do is, like today is a Sunday, I try to do all of the snacks so that once the week is going and we're going to games and, you know, working all day and cooking and everything, all I have to do is grab that bag and go, and then I'm handing out afterwards. So I put in one of these. I get the bulk. I left it in the car, so I can't show you that. But I do keep in my car a bulk of Capri Suns or Kool-Aid juice packets. And after, I always add a juice packet to every bag. And then there's usually a fruit. So these are Kewpies. They love that. That was one of their requests when I gave them some burritos this weekend. They said they love Kewpies. So Kewpies will be added to it. Add a Kewpie. Very simple. Do that. I stuffed all of these in the bag, and then when they come out the locker room after a game, no matter what the game is, I don't try to really engage with them or anything like that. I'm just standing right outside the locker room and handy as they go. Handy. Because if you think about it, for my son, he gets to school at 7 a.m. and he's in school all the way till 3. And then if they have a game, they go from 3 to 6, whether it be practicing, sort of doing some relaxing downtime, doing homework, socializing a little bit, running plays, watching film. They're engaged for those other 3 hours. And then the game typically doesn't start till 7 and goes to 9. So they started at school at 7 in the morning. They are not done. And they are going that entire time until 9 in the evening. That's a long day. So this is just a quick way for them to have a good bite to eat. I mean, they dig in right when they go. The girls used to sometimes pick and choose a little bit. Like, oh, let me get you this, or I'll give you this. But the boys never do that. They're like, man, you gonna eat your bag? I'll take your bag too. One of the young, they used to sell at our Myers the white, smaller bags, which I really like because they were really small and compact, and I felt like I wasn't wasting them because I wasn't putting all that much in them. But I can't find those anymore. So I just use the regular size bag. Kool-Aid is the cheapest out of the Capri Sun or Juice Box family. The different brands of Kool-Aids, and really the guys are so thirsty. I mean, they are just exhausted after most of the games. They wouldn't care what I gave them, actually. So I just go with the cheapest, which is the Kool-Aid brand. I always add 1 packet of, I'm sorry, it's late and I'm tired. I just got finished writing 2,500 words in 3 hours, 2.5 hours. And I'm really proud of what I'm writing. So my brain is a little mushy. But these cuties, they wanted these. And so this week, so you're going to see me put together what's for the first game, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do for the next game. And you're just going to see me putting it together in the bag. So one of these, and Cheez-Its, my son's favorite. First week of games, so that's what I'm giving them this week. and that's it. Sometimes I'm tempted to put in so much more, like a fruit snack or a candy treat. And when I do that, then it makes it more, I feel like I'm not going to be able to maintain that because it's costly. And I'm not going to do that every time. So I try to just do 3 items every time. Okay. And I do this before every game. And then I have to move these out the way because then I'll be in them. But I have learned if I leave these items in my house, they get eaten. So I always keep them stored in my car. I've learned if I leave them in my house, they will get eaten. So I leave all of these kind of snacks, yes, in my car. Yes, I do have snacks in my car. And oftentimes I'll divide up this stuff for the games and for the house. And if they're in the car, it's basketball season, is winter, so they're great because sometimes they even freeze the juice boxes, the jammers. That's what they are called, Kool-Aid jammers. They will actually freeze these, and by the time I take them inside and wait for the boys to finish their games, they're like slushy. Oh my goodness, the boys love them like that, and so did the girls. And sometimes they're just extra hungry. The reality is we don't always know what parents are doing at this time. When I taught 8th grade, one of the saddest realities is a lot of those kids were on their own when it came to food. Like maybe their parents provided them with dinner, you know, after work or whatever. But for the most part, they were scrambling to get cereal or whatever for breakfast, and then you know, snacking all day, and school was rare, if any. I always was a teacher. I was a teacher that provided a snack in my classroom for 8th graders. I would have either a bag of apples or whatever was left over from breakfast. I would just save it and have it because I ate throughout the day. I snacked throughout the day, and to expect growing teenagers not to do that is so bizarre to me. So I always had that available. But honestly, some kids would tell me like, oh, you know, I had ramen noodles for dinner. And my kids love ramen noodles. They eat ramen noodles just about every day, if not every, you know, every other day, if not every day. But it is considered an after-school snack for me. That is not nutritious. It's not food in any way. And so, but for many kids, that was pretty much their meal. So I try to have these available. It's one more layer of food for them. We have a new coach who is saying that he would like to have like a family meal after the Friday game, like afterwards. So that'll help too, and make a big difference. But this is just one small way. Altogether, it probably costs less than, so this right here, this 20 pack, I think was $7, maybe $7.50. These Kewpies, a big bag of the Kewpies were like $2. And then these, I get them in the bulk 30 packs, which is like 3 games in my mind. The bulk 30 pack, and they were $5. So 7, 5, that's 12, plus 2, $15 to give 10 players something to snack on. I don't think that's all that much, and I'm willing to do that sacrifice. So while I'm sitting here, because it's Sunday night, it's dark outside, it's almost 8. My college girl's coming home for Christmas break. Her dad drove to Tennessee to pick her up. We flew her in for Thanksgiving, but we didn't do that for Christmas because she said she had several bags. And so the cost of having the bags and everything on the plane, she just wanted to ride. And her dad is her world, and she's his world, and he was more than okay with driving to go get her. And actually, they should be coming in any minute now. But it's going to be a crazy busy week. It will be a crazy busy week, and because of that, I did not want to not have these packed. My youngest son has a game tomorrow, and then Tuesday we'll be off. No, Monday. Actually, Monday I work late. I do professional development in the evening for some teachers. And then Tuesday, my youngest son has a game. Then Wednesday, my oldest son has a game. And then Thursday, my youngest son has another game. And then Friday, my oldest son has a game. And so it's crazy, and they played all day Saturday. So I just said I would get this done. The great thing about it is usually I went to church today, and usually I'm kind of exhausted and scrambling, and I did take a quick siesta nap while I was writing. I was writing for 15 minutes. I fell asleep, actually woke myself up like that because I was typing and I didn't want my laptop to fall on the floor or anything. And that was a refresher. But what I've been doing is on the weekend, on Saturday, sometimes Friday night, I'm just so exhausted from all of everything. And when I get home, I just crash. I go to bed. Usually it's a night that I'm like, there's pizza, or we do takeout, or I had something in a crock pot. And that's what they eat. And I just go ahead and go to bed. But when I go to bed that early, what happens is, because I'm over 40, my body wakes up. And then I'm just up at 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm just up. And so what I have just started doing in the last couple of weeks or month, I just get up and I do all of my chores, all of the cleaning, deep cleaning I need to do in the kitchen. I needed to change over my tablecloth to the festive Christmas tablecloth, and I needed to go through some papers and all of that. So I did that, and I stayed up till about 3:30, and then I went back to bed because church doesn't start until 10:30. I'm not an early girl to church. So I got there around 11, but that still gave me a good 7 hours, 6 or 7 hours of sleep. And that was great. And now it's almost 9 and I'm ready to go to bed. I'm trying to wait until my daughter comes in so I can really say hey to her and talk to her for a minute. But honestly, I'm a tired girl. Next one I will do will be, these were on sale, 2 for $5. That's a good deal, 2 for $5. And even though I hate that they put 20 brownies, because nobody's gonna crack open the pack and actually divide them out. There's only 5 packs in here. And I got messed up on that a couple of times doing this for the boys. But 5 and 5 makes 10, which is the 10 packs I need to make these packs. So I'm gonna do these with Cheez-It again, or with a fruit snack. I don't try to put 2 of the same thing in the same week. So with the fruit snack, and then a jammer, and it will be a different flavor because there are different flavors in that variety pack. So that's what they will get on Friday. So this is the Wednesday game, and then on Friday they'll get these with the fruit snacks, and they love it, and I love doing it. I love doing it. It's just a small way I can support them and encourage them to keep playing, keep striving towards your goals, and maybe a door open up for the next level in college and scholarship money. So this is just a small way that I support them. Alrighty. This was a great vlog. My son is still telling me nobody is watching these, but I know someone is, because the Mindful Butterfly, I think is her name, is who sent me a message that she was watching. So shout out to you. Shout out to you. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful, wonderful week coming up. Bye-bye.